Hello, my name is Diane Meadows and I am the Program Assistant of School Curriculum Enrichment at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension here in Wise County. Last week in class, you placed some eggs in an incubator so we can observe their development over the next 21 days. These eggs were raised on a farm where both roosters and hens are raised together. Roosters are the male chickens and hens are the female chickens. When both are raised together, the eggs are fertilized and can produce baby chicks when provided the right environment and conditions. Store-bought eggs, on the other hand, are produced by laying hens raised on farms where there are no roosters present, and therefore the eggs are not fertilized and will not hatch out into baby chicks. In order for the eggs to hatch, the eggs must be kept under special conditions. Hopefully, your incubators are maintaining a constant temperature of 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit and that the humidity level is staying between 50 and 55%, in addition to rotating the eggs 3 to 4 times a day for the first 18 days. In today's lesson, we are going to take an up-close look at all the parts and functions of an egg. In order to do this activity, you will need the following items: a student worksheet, a pencil, a paper plate, toothpicks, an egg, and some paper towels. If you don't have these items, pause the video here. Be careful as you handle the egg, as it is fragile and will break easily. Are you all set now? Did you know that chicken eggs come in many colors? Store-bought eggs are usually white or brown. However, chickens can lay eggs in shades of white, brown, green, and even blue. Eggs can also come in different sizes as well. While some are small and can easily fit in the cup of your hand, others are large and fill your whole hand. Now I would like for you to go ahead and pick up the egg and look at it carefully. You've probably seen eggs many times, but have you really ever looked at them closely? The shell is actually made of calcium, the same substance that makes up your bones. And like your bones, although you cannot see it with the naked eye, the shell has tiny little holes or pores all over the surface. These pores allow air, gas, and moisture to be traveled in and out of the egg. Take a look at the shape of your egg. Most of them are oval shaped and have a pointed end and a more rounded end. When storing eggs, the pointed end of the egg should be placed downward into the egg carton, and the more oval rounded end should be the part that's on the top. Okay, now let's talk about what's going on the inside of the egg. I want you to carefully, holding the egg over the plate just a few inches above it, go ahead and tap the egg on the table and crack it open through the middle of the egg. I want you to take a closer look at the two pieces of shell. You will probably notice a thin film-like material along the broken edge of the shell. That is the inner and outer membrane that lies between the shell and the embryo. The thin outer membrane touches against the shell and helps protect the embryo by preventing bacteria from entering through the pores of the shell. The inner membrane is on the inside of the layer of the membrane, and it touches the embryo, and it also helps keep bacteria away from the embryo. Go ahead and try to remove some of that membrane from the pointed end of the eggshell. How does it feel? Now I want you to go ahead and pick up the other piece of eggshell, the rounded one, and look down inside it. You'll notice there's a bubble in there. That bubble is actually called the air cell. The air cell lies between the inner and the outer membrane and is formed when the egg starts to cool right after it's laid. It's real vital to the life of the chick because as the chick begins to develop, the air cell actually gets bigger so that it can provide the first breath of air for the baby chick on day 21, right before it breaks through the shell and hatches. If you haven't already, you can go ahead and poke yours and open it up and see what it looks like. All right, go ahead and set that shell aside and let's go ahead and take a look at the actual egg in the plate. All that clear stuff that you see in the plate that we usually call an egg white is actually scientifically called an albumin. It looks like there might be two different substances of clear substances there because one is more watery and the other one is more of a gel consistency, but they're actually both called albumin. Albumin is mostly made up of protein. As we get to the center portion of the egg, we have several parts to identify. Using very light pressure, as to not break the membrane, you can rub your finger across the top of the yolk and feel the Vitelline membrane. This membrane keeps all the yolk separated from the albumin. The yolk is the very center of the egg. It is where the fat and cholesterol are found and is actually a major source of vitamins, minerals, and protein that the embryo feeds on while it is developing. Now attached to the Vitelline membrane, there are these little white string-looking things. These are the chalazae. These keep the yolk from twisting around and getting banged up on the sides of the egg when it is being moved about. We have one more tiny little part that we haven't identified yet. If you look closely at the yolk, you might see a little white dot on the yolk. That is called the germinal disc. The germinal disc is a small circular white spot on the surface of the yolk where the embryo begins to develop. On an unfertilized egg, the germinal disc will simply be a little white spot. However, if the egg is fertilized, you might see a halo around it. We have now finished identifying all the parts of an egg. With your teacher's permission, you may pick up the yolk and roll it around in your hand to see if you can identify and feel the Vitelline membrane and also locate the germinal disc. Once you have finished your observation, be sure to clean up your work area, wash your hands with soap and water, and then don't forget to complete your worksheet and turn it in to your teacher. At our next class, we will look at candling our eggs. Candling eggs allows you to check to see if your eggs are actually developing. Until next time, I'm Diane Meadows with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service here in Wise County. Y'all stay safe.